So I'm going to be completely real. It's more of the same. Training was canceled today because of the weather. It's terrible weather. I agree that they probably should have canceled it, but it's depressing, right? I'm already thinking about what's happening in the future. I'm already thinking about my next steps because I know that this is just not going to work out, man. And it's unlucky, it's unfortunate, but it's kind of been like this the whole trial. So do I put it down as a failure for me? I'm not so sure. I'm probably going to reflect and analyze in the future whether or not there was anything I could have done about this whole trial, this whole situation. But I'm just basically gonna focus on my next couple days, make these last couple days as memorable as possible, so that when I inevitably, most likely, have to go back home to Canada, I can look back and still have a few memories and a few good things to look at. But it's unfortunate, right? And all I gotta say is, like, I just gotta kind of get up and keep moving, right? And whatever next steps happen in my life, I just have to keep trying to glorify God. I feel like there's definitely many, many big lessons learned over these last 2 weeks so far. So as we're on Thursday, we're almost at the end of it. I've learned a lot of big things, and I'm going to take these lessons and reflect and analyze these lessons on my own by myself, because I still have to try and wrap my head around it, the whole situation with this whole pro football trial and the car crash that it was. Don't worry, I'm going to be more specific, and I'm going to be talking to you guys and sharing the stories as to what's happened more in detail, of course. But I think I'm just going to sit here, reflect for a bit, do some stretching, maybe do a hard workout. My final training session, assuming they don't cancel it again, will be tomorrow, and then in a couple of days I leave. So whatever happens, happens. Again, I'll update you guys on it, but really, for me, it's not looking good. I'm a little bit distraught, a little bit depressed today because well, it's always depressing, right? I spent all this money, I spent all this time getting ready, and it's just not working out, and everything about it is just a mess. So things that I can control, but a lot that I can't control, like of course the training session being canceled today being a prime example of that. So I really got nothing else to say for today. I'm going to see if I can do a little bit more tomorrow, but honestly, I'm just going to kind of get in my shell a little bit and kind of get into that deep reflection, trying to figure out what went wrong, what went well, and how I can use these lessons, what the lessons are, and how I can use the lessons going forward to make things better in my life. That's really all I can do. And it's only the beginning of February. There's still so much time to make 2026 a great year. As much as this moment and these 2 weeks on this trial haven't exactly been the way that I've planned, perhaps there's a greater plan, and it's God's plan. It's something even greater than I could have ever imagined. So I'm sure that this kind of mundane feeling and just bit of depressing sadness type of feeling, I feel like maybe there's a bigger picture, and I'm gonna try and wrap my head around what the bigger picture perhaps is. But I'm just gonna get up and keep working. So really, that's all I gotta say is that I will come back perhaps tomorrow and the next couple of days, reflecting even further and being more honest and open with what exactly specifically happened on this trial. Because honestly, I feel like I've been a little bit too closed. Like, I haven't been too honest. I've been keeping things under wraps a little bit because there were a lot of complications that have happened on these last 2 weeks. But as it's approaching its end, and perhaps even beyond its end, is where I will be more specific and more real in terms of how this has happened. So I just invite you guys to join along, right? Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify if you haven't yet, and like the video, show your support. Even if this chapter in my life is coming to an end and it hasn't gone exactly the way that I would have liked, I'm sure there are so many more amazing things going to happen in the future. So I'm just going to keep working, keeping on grinding, keep on moving, and keep on kind of cultivating that mentality that will lead me to eventually reaching a good level of success, maybe improving the quality of the show. Of course, if I go back to Canada, I'm absolutely going to improve many great things on this show. But perhaps, even beyond that, even in my personal life, how I go about it. So I'm just going to keep on working, and that's really the plan. So as I kind of sit here and reflect on a bad day, a depressing moment, there's always positives to look at. And that's, I think, the biggest lesson, is that there's always a positive side, and there's always something better if you frame it in the right way. So thank you for watching. I thank you for being here. I really have nothing else to say. So as today is my second last day and tomorrow will probably be my last training session, I will see you tomorrow where I will reflect on exactly that.